What's up, guys? It's Mike for Sim Racing 604. Welcome back once again to my garage. Here today to talk about some of the cooler performing products I have, or better performing products and cooler products that I have for sim racing. So we're just going to go through them real quick. I wanted to give an update on how things are going with VR, how things are going with the load cell, how things are going with direct drive. I wanted to kind of cover it. I've had a lot of questions. How are the new pedals, Mike? How's the new direct drive? That kind of thing. I didn't want to do a video that came across as a brag. I realized that there's a whole lot of money sitting behind me, and I didn't want it to seem like I'm doing a video showing off, rubbing it in people's noses. I reached out to Dan at Dan's Racing and Simulation and just said, you know, I want to do this. How do I attack this? And he said, Mike, just go for it. You just got to do it. Share your experience. So you can direct any hate mail to Dan at Dan's Racing. I'm kidding. But anyway, I'll go through these, just kind of explain what's been my experience so far with the recent upgrades. These have all happened within about the last 3 months or so. We will start, I guess, with this guy here, the Oculus Rift. So, by the way, I've been holding these pedals doing videos, and it's much nicer to hold the Rift. So the Oculus Rift, this brought VR to Sim Racing 604, and I actually got this because of Single Racer. He got it before me. He did a few videos and just could not stop raving about how amazing these things are. I consider him a friend. We've never actually met. We're almost literally a globe apart. He's in Australia. I'm in Canada. But anyway, we've connected offline. Great dude. And if it has his recommendation, I went for it, and I could not have been happier with my purchase. He was absolutely right. This thing is amazing. Just quickly, gonna run through my experiences. So the first time I booted this up, I got it set up, and I literally had trouble breathing, and it was the weirdest thing. It just blew my mind how immersive it was to be in VR. I'm somebody who's old enough to remember the first iteration of VR, kind of in the mid-90s, and everything was polygons and pixelated and whatever else. This was immediately immersive, and this comes with, actually I've taken them off, but some clip-on. These two holes you see here are for clip-on speakers, and the sound was 3D, and it was just the most amazing experience I've had. Sorry, as a gamer. I apologize. Maybe I shouldn't eat before I go on camera. One of the most amazing experiences I've ever had as a gamer. In fact, one of my most amazing experiences with technology. Again, I'm somewhat older, so I remember the first time I used Wi-Fi internet, and it blew my mind that I had a whole world of knowledge wirelessly on a laptop. That was incredible, and up there is my first experience with the Oculus. It really is fantastic. In terms of relating it to sim racing, I believe my lap times have become more consistent. You can turn your head, you can see around corners, that kind of thing. If you're driving in online or against AI, you can turn to the side. Do I have enough room to overtake? You know, is he going to cut in on me on this corner? Blah, blah, blah. The Oculus makes all the difference. Pros and cons, I mean, it's amazing. There's not enough good I could say about it. It's just incredible. Cons, it is expensive in this generation. This was about 400 or 500 Canadian. I can't remember exactly what I paid. Not just that, though, you need the hardware to run it. So I run on a 1080 video card. I believe the minimum recommendation is a 970 video card, if I'm not mistaken. Most people online you see run a 1060 at least to have reasonable settings within your games. Again, the 1080 more than covering it, but 1080, I paid a lot of money for it. So all in all, this was well over $1,000 Canadian to own this. So it's big money, and this is only the first generation. I suspect this will get smaller. It looks kind of goofy to wear right now, but I suspect it's going to get smaller over the years and hopefully cheaper. Should you hold off or should you buy? Personally, I think if you have the funds, you could not go wrong with this Oculus. I think it'll blow your mind. I think it's really amazing. If you don't have the funds, I would say don't break the bank. You can wait a couple of years. Apparently Gen 2 of the Oculus is coming 2019, so if you can hold off till then, most likely you could get the first generation, this guy, for a whole lot cheaper, and probably by then video card prices will have come down as well, so you'll save a whole bunch of money. So that's my experience with the Oculus. Just been incredible. Next up is the direct drive. So I'll talk a bit about this. So this is the AccuForce Pro V2 setup. So, a couple of things I should share. Initial impressions. I left everything stock when I first got this thing and booted into Assetto Corsa, and I was running the Porsche 2017 RSR, and I booted into it, had everything turned up, and I could hear that like bub, 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 of the engine through my headphones, and this thing was shaking in my hands, and it was just a holy crap moment. It really was amazing. And then when I got out onto the track, I mentioned this in the wheels video, I could barely force this thing around. It's so strong, but I managed to tweak the settings. I'm still maybe 60% of the way to having it perfect, but even in that 60% state, it is so good. So good to have direct drive. You get nice strength, because I always had to compromise because I'm a bigger guy. I like my force feedback strong, but at the expense when you're running like a T300 as I was, or a G29 prior to that, if you turn it up, if you make it nice and strong, you're gonna lose, I guess fidelity is the word. You're gonna not be able to feel the curbs as much. You're not gonna be able to feel your wheel slip. This guy kind of does it all, and this is not the top of the line. Of course, you can get Leo Bodner, is considered a step above this. I think there's a couple other wheels, direct drive wheels, that are considered quote-unquote better than this, but for my money, this is phenomenal. I don't see any need to upgrade from this. I think it's just an incredible wheel, and I really love it. Yeah, $9.99 US is what I paid for this. Normally it's $1,300 US. That includes your control box, your 13 Newton meter servo motor, and the wheel and buttons you see here. It's more expensive, I believe, if you buy. Actually, I won't even mention that. But just from my experience, go through the Sim Experience website to purchase. I believe it's cheaper there. It's got a quick release wheel, quick release here, carbon fiber shifters. Don't know why, but anyway, cool to own carbon fiber. Looks like it's adjustable. I just noticed that. What else was I going to say about this thing? Maybe that's it, but just really happy with my direct drive wheel. It really has taken the immersion to the next level, and I will speak a bit more about immersion later, but I love my direct drive wheel, and I could not imagine going back. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I did, as you can see, I'm missing a button here. This actually shipped out of the factory, missing a button. I reached out to Sim Experience, and within 12 hours I had a response saying, could you send us a picture? Sent them a picture, and 4 hours after that I had another response saying it's on the way. So awesome customer service so far, really liking it. The Sim Commander software that I'm tweaking, as I say, it's about 60%. Still kind of fiddling with the settings, how much, road noise I want, how much curb noise I want. Still kind of getting there. Sim Commander software initially is not very user-friendly. It looks like a real old-school software, but it works. And once you kind of understand it, it took me a few days, but once you kind of understand it, it just clicks, and then it becomes a very powerful piece of software. So loving this direct drive wheel. Next up is my load cell pedals. Oh, as I break my back lifting these things. These things are big and heavy. The T3, sorry, the Fanatic Club Sport V3 inverted is what you're seeing here. Love these guys. I have done a couple of videos so far telling you how this has actually made me faster. These pedals actually make me faster. You just feel more of the road, more adjustable. It goes from my T3 PAs, I believe, 10-bit resolution. These are 12-bit resolution. And I was thinking that won't make a difference, but something between this and the T3 PA Pros has made me faster. Whether it's that added bit of resolution, I don't know, or just the general construction of these things, as you can see. Or not see, but it has the built-in load cell with adjustment there, and then as I make this super awkward, the damper kit somewhere in there. There's a damper kit. See it there. Is a really cool function. It comes either as an add-on to standard Club Sport V3 pedals, or the V3 inverted comes complete with the damper kit. This is a great brake. I mentioned in the pedal video that 80% of my value that I put into a set of pedals comes from this guy here. The brake, to me, is far the most important pedal, and the V3 inverted has a great brake. Accelerator is smooth, and clutch is very, very good as well. The clutch is not a linear travel. It kind of springs back like a real clutch would, and I just cannot say enough good things about these load cell based pedals. Having a load cell brake does make a huge difference. Don't get it wrong. It's very, very important to have a load cell. If you go from a standard pedal, a brake pedal that has, linear travel, the further you push it, the more you brake, to a load cell, you will notice a huge difference. I got faster even with my T38 Pros when I upgraded it to a load cell, and even faster with this, with a possibly better load cell, but more important, just better travel on the brake pedal. Can't say enough good things about these guys either. I love my V3 inverted pedals. With the load cell makes a massive difference. Try not to crush my USB cable here. And finally, you know what? I've totally forgotten the name of these guys. The Astro A50s. These are headphones. Now, I have a bit of an audio background. I haven't worked in audio in a really long time, but I'm somebody who appreciates good audio. And I normally do not recommend people go to a consumer electronics store to buy headphones. I recommend you go to a music store. You can get some really good headphones. Do I have my other ones here? They're buried. Anyway, I have a real good pair of Audio Technicas that I had. I was wanting to go wireless when I moved to VR, and so I got these guys, picked it up at Best Buy. They were not cheap. They're about $400 Canadian. Oh, by the way, these I paid $399 US for. You probably won't get that deal for much of the year. That was a Black Friday sale. I think normally they're closer to the $500 US range for the Fnatic V3 inverteds. These guys here, wireless headphones, the Astra A50s. And they sound fantastic. I love them. Not necessarily, as I say, I have kind of an audio background, so I'm not always a fan of wireless headphones. I think, in my experience, the best headphones come with wires. I normally go to a music store to get good headphones. But I took a chance on these guys, paid a bit more than I thought I should have, but it's been awesome. I love these things. They sound great. I boot these into Race Room. I can turn it up. It's got actually adjustment there for volume. And yeah, so I can turn it up on the fly. I can do it right in the middle of a race, just kind of dial it up or down as I see fit. And the sound quality is fantastic. So I love these things. Hoping they last a long time. A lot of plastic in the construction, so I'm not sure it'll last forever, but as long as it lasts, I really enjoy these things. So, all in all, guys, what I've bought here with my VR, with my direct drive, with my load cell, and with the wireless, higher quality headphones, what I've bought, guys, is immersion. I mentioned in the, I guess it was my wheels video, that you should not try and buy your way into being a great sim racer, and I stand by that. Being a great sim racer comes from practice, exposing yourself to different scenarios, watching others who do it well, watching real racing, blah, blah, blah. What you actually buy when you buy the load cell, the VR, the direct drive wheel, and the good headphones is immersion. So I race something like Race Room and or Assetto Corsa, and I can just get lost. I can just boot it up, and it's just completely an immersive experience. The best experience I could have ever imagined having, better than I could have ever imagined having from video games, having played them over the last 20, 25 years, actually probably 30 years when I think about it. And it's just phenomenal. So that's really what I've bought. I can't say enough good things about the Oculus or the AccuForce or the V3 Inverteds or the A50s. All four tremendous products, and like I say, what you're buying actually is immersion, and it truly is an immersive experience that can take sim racing kind of to the next level of reality, and just not enough good things to say. So thank you guys for listening. Again, I want to say this is not meant to rub it in anyone's face. I've had some luck financially this year, and yeah, if you can afford it, I recommend any of these products. If not, you're probably a better driver than me anyway with whatever you're using. So I take nothing away from you. Do what works, and And yeah, this has just been my experience, and they're all four great products. I recommend any of them, but again, it's not for everyone's price point. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time.